Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be comparing these two keypads and doing a review of this one. So basically, just for beginners, I'm just going to throw a disclaimer. This is not its own security system. This 6290 is not its own system. It is meant to be connected to a Vista system, that panel, and it is basically a keypad, but it's just a touchscreen. It's, it's nicer in the living room or whatever. So yeah, it has the exact same functions as this, but it's just, a nicer OS version. So yeah. Another thing is that if you have like this mounted right now, just fall asleep. If like you have this mounted in your living room right now and it's like really close to like something, so like if this just fits perfectly and this might not fit, it's just a little bit longer, and you see that it kind of tapers outwards, the back plate. So it says it will definitely fit like the hole in mounting spot where this was, but it just is a tiny bit bigger this way. So that's just a heads up. Also, a quick disclaimer before this video starts. If you are planning on buying this keypad, this right here, this touchscreen, just remember this cannot replace a RF keypad. It cannot. It is not a receiver, and it is not a Z-Wave device. So what does that mean? That means I actually have an RF keypad behind me. This is a 6150, the one that does not have the text on it. This is an RF keypad. Right behind it, it says 6150 RF. And taking it off the base plate, this goes for the 6160 RFs too. If you open it up, if you're going to take it off the wall and you poke the tabs out, and you see these metal antennas, you cannot replace this device with this. Why? Well, then all your wireless devices, such as your wireless transmitters, like the door contacts, your motions, or whatever that's wireless, will not be able to communicate with the system. So basically, if you have one of these devices, either add this somewhere else, move this somewhere else, or buy the 58 something transmitter that is just a little box with an antenna that connects directly to the panel. If you don't have any wireless devices at all, you can just go right ahead. So if you don't see anything, so if you see something like this, for example, this is the back of my 6160. There is no antenna or anything. It's just a 6160. Then you're good to go, basically. So just, it is not Z-Wave compatible either, so I don't think it is yet, or it's not. There is no setting for it. The Tuxedo Touch or the 6280 is. So other than that, it is yeah. So here's actually the box that mine came in. Yeah, it's basically, it comes out like this. Be a little piece of tape pop out, and then this just kind of opens up, and you have the keypad in the back plate wrapped in this, and you get a this and a few other instruction booklets. And here's also the back of the, being that this is one of the first videos, I just want to point that out. The unboxing experience is not all that fancy. It's just, the screen and the back plate is just wrapped separately. Yeah. Anyways, let's just begin. Right now, for example, this is partition 1. It says Merry Christmas on that. So it's going to say Merry Christmas here, house, or partition 1, whatever the H is standing for. And also, if you see down right here, it says Merry Christmas there too. Now, normally it would just say P1, or it would just say disarm ready to arm, but I took the extra step to just, say something, because, it's December 26th. All right, for beginners, this is the home screen of this keypad. I'm going to start by reviewing this and whatnot, and I'll do the comparison. So down at the bottom, if you're also in this, you just got to press the little home. So this is the complete home screen, wherever it is. So we'll start down here. This is your panics. I have one missing because that's how I programmed it. That is your zones 95, 96, and 99. I have them programmed a little bit differently because this is not a monitored system. So right now I just have the police panic and the fire. And if you have an emergency, you just tap and hold it for a couple seconds or 2 seconds, and it will go into alarm, which I can demonstrate right now. So now the beeping. You could touch there to silence, and just ignore the in the background. So yeah, there you can see it brought me right to the zone faults, and we have zone 95 and alarm. So we can tap clear. So you just got to enter the code and it'll go away. So in that exclamation point, you could just have to do it again. Just for the sake of time, I just did it again real fast. So yes. Coming this way, I don't know if this will stay here forever, but this is just like training videos and introduction. So like, for example, if I tap training videos, I can tap on one of these and it would bring me to the YouTube video. And then down here is a little speaker. If I tap on that,
disarmed, ready to arm.
I guess that just announces what's going on. So you just tap on that and it says what's going on, or if it's not there's a fault in the system, it would say whatever it is if you don't have chime on or whatever. I just think that's just, speak out what's going on. So coming up on this side, we have the multimedia. You tap on that. There's actually an SD card slot on this side, and there's also a power button here that you can just press and hold, restart the keypad. So yes, there's an SD card slot on here, micro SD card. Plug it in, it'll show up here. You can tap on it, and it's really self-explanatory. We'll come back to the settings, and we can come on over here where it says Merry Christmas, or we'll say P1. That is your partitions. So I'm going to enter my code. And here you can see partitions 1, 2, and 3. Partition 1's the main one, so it has, it has the descriptor. So you can actually tap on one of these, press OK, and you're now in partition 2 as stated up there. So you can arm away or whatever. So if I can stay, enter the code, and I can hop back over here, enter my code. It does say it's arm stay on partition 2, ready to arm on partition 1 and 3. So I'm actually going to go back to partition 1. Okay. And you could see that that changed back, and we have the ready to arm. So now what this does up here is multi-partition arming. So I can press disarm and disarm all partitions. So I could select a specific one or just press all and OK. So that just disarmed all the partitions. So if I hop back into here, everything's back to ready to arm. So yes, that's basically multi-arming partitions and just seeing your partitions and whatnot. So in the middle, you can see it's your basic security: arm away, stay, night, disarm, shield. And at the top, you got the time, your status, and the partition and Wi-Fi. So the time can actually be set in settings, or if you actually have one of these keypads and you want to set the time on the system, you can actually do your code #63. And here you can see time, date, and you just got to press pound and you can actually edit the entire thing. So I'm just going to zip right through it just because it's the right time. And yeah, so back over here, if I tap this, we got a few more things. And by the way, panic stays on every single screen except for the cleaning part, which we will get to later. So we have the event log, which we can see all the events. That will load in all 100 or whatever events. Next we have console mode. And what console mode does is basically is a virtual this. So you can see I have A, B, C, D keys. There's A, B, C, D. I have the keypad with off, away, stay, and so on. And then I have the keypad with off, away, stay. And over here, you have what is going to be on this screen. So it says Merry Christmas, ready to arm. And that says Merry Christmas, ready to arm, which you can see. So I can basically arm the system the same way from here or the actual main system. So like you just saw, fault garage door. And since that's actually happening, it says not ready fault. And I can actually tap here. And it does say garage door there because someone opened it. So yeah, by the way, this will always pop up when there's a fault, alarm, or anything. And if there's a fault, or you can actually tap here, you can see what's going on. So I tap faults, I can tap garage door, bypass selected, or bypass all. So excuse the heater right next to me as it's shutting off. So if I want to arm, and we have a few zones that are currently in alarm. So I can press bypass all, enter my code, and now you just saw both LEDs come back on, and I can arm stay, for example. Enter my password, And we are now in armed. So to disarm, let's say you come home and whatever, just press disarm, enter your code, and you're all. So basically that's all what this is. You can actually scroll through it. If you click alarms, you know, faults, troubles, or whatnot, you can always bypass or clear or whatever. And that should bring you back to a ready state. So now my system's probably not going to be back at ready anymore for a little while. So if I hop into settings, you have your volume control, brightness, and then a few other things. So system info, you just have your remote, self-reversion remote, and then all just MAC address and stuff, which is probably be blocked out. So that's your IP address, your MAC address, and whatnot. So that's going to be all there. By the way, the arrows to go back, that will just bring you straight to this home screen. Next up is system setup. So system setup, you can actually set up the time and date. Enter the code, master code, installer code, doesn't matter. Oops. So you can select the time and date and everything, get time and all that stuff. It's pretty self-explanatory. So and when you're done, you press the check, and you'll be all set. So under CS setup, if I enter the code, oops, if I enter my installer code, that needs an installer code, by the way. Here is where you got a few things. You have the running, how many times it was reset, and yeah. So starting over here, we have the ECP address. So that's where you can change the address of the keypad. I have mine on 1. I have the home page as the security screen instead of legacy, and safe mode, demo mode, and normal mode. So I'm going to explain those. Normal mode is just how it is right now. Safe mode is if something goes wrong with this, like if some software goes wrong with this keypad, it will boot into safe mode, so you can still disarm and operate your security system, but it'll just have like none of the other features. You can just arm, disarm, whatnot. Demo mode, I am not completely sure. So by the way, I can do a test of safe mode. It's like safe mode, just to check. The keypad will reset, so I will press OK. So once it comes up, it'll say restart normal mode. So I'm going to press the X just to show you. So yes, this is all you're going to see. You can do the partitions, the console only. Nope, it's just console. Yeah. Readout, training, multimedia. And that is really it. There's no settings or anything you can change. And to get out, you just tap safe mode, press the check, and the keypad will restart again. I'm going to cut this out so we just get right back to the other screen. Alright, so it just booted up. This is what's going to happen. It receives the panel configuration. It goes through that. It might take longer to get all the zone names and whatnot, but yes, it will come back up. So we're back up here. Go back to where we were. Alright, continuing back to the setup, we have screen security. So here you can see what requires what password. So you can see for the time and date, you need the operator for some reason. For security, anyone can use. Messages, anyone can use. Lighting, anyone can use. Event logs, anyone can use. You know, you need the installer code for the CS setup, and you can actually change these each. So yeah, you could just see the authority of each code. Now I'm just going to point out now, messages and lighting is not part of the keypad yet, I guess. There is a microphone on the side I can see, but there is no messages setting or lighting. So I don't know if that's coming in the future or whatever, because this can always receive firmware updates and whatnot. So yeah, if we go back, we got the device events. This is just all the events and whatnot of the system. Next we have code authority, and this is actually really cool. So this basically, you can enter any code. So if I enter 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's our actual code on the system, it will tell me what it's operator A, you know, what perms does it have and whatnot. So if I enter my installer code, it will say installer, or if I use the master code, it'll say master for all partitions and whatnot. So yeah, last but not least, we have the panel config, but I'm not going to hop in there because then it's all the panel information. If you're back in the system setup, we have user setup. So this is a nice place you can create users instead of on here where you got to go through the 8 key and yada yada. It's all weird. So you just got to press the little pencil to edit. Let's go back. You just got to press the plus to add a code. So I got to enter the main code. So I entered the master code, and here you can do a normal guest or master. enter a user number. So I'll do user number 4, for example. RF button zone, I'm not really sure, but it's just a number between 0 and 064, I believe. So I'll do 62. Type in a username, so I'll just do test 2, press the check, and then I can enter the code for them. So I'll do 4321. So now we got a normal user on partition 1 with the password of 4321. So I can use 4321 to disarm an arm and whatnot. So now if I were to tap on this and then press the little X, enter my master code, enter the master code, delete test 2, yes. So that's just a quick little thing on user setup. And under advanced setup, entering the installer code, yes. So the installer code by default is 4112. I highly suggest you change that because you can use it to disarm and whatnot. You have the power mode set up, so you can have it power save mode and whatnot. I don't know why that's under advanced setup. We have night setup, so what you want to do when you press arms night, stay, whatever. And you have keypad reset, which I'm not going to press. So that is in the system setup. So now system Wi-Fi is self-explanatory. You just can connect to Wi-Fi, you just got to enter your password. And last, I'll head into display and audio setup. So I will enter 1, 2, 3, 4. And here you can do chime mode, do voice chime, and voice chime. So you can do all that stuff. I'm just going to leave it off. And you can hear when I turn on and off chime mode, it's basically doing the code plus 9 here. So that will allow for chime when you open a door or something. And last but not least, we have the languages, backlight turn off after, go to home page, or start slideshow with your multimedia. And at the bottom we have clean screen. So if I tap on that, it basically allows you, tells you what to clean the screen with. You can basically clean it, it won't recognize any touch until that timer has gone out. Alright, so now that will just disappear, you can press the check, and you can go back home. So that is basically all of the features that I have, that's just there right now as of, December of 2020. This is still receiving firmware updates and whatnot, so I would like to see messages in the future. That would be pretty cool. And maybe like a weather or like widgets or something. I did not see what legacy, or not legacy. Not really quick, I'm actually interested. I'm just going to see what legacy screen is. Keypad will reset, and I'll be right back. Everything that you do on here, like, with your push buttons, is either in console mode, that's basically everything. But your arming and whatnot, you can do in either console mode or on the home screen you saw with arm away, stay, and disarm and whatnot. It's just a nicer, sleek look to it. So this is actually legacy mode. I might actually like this better. So you can tap on security, I guess. Tap on security, and you get everything. Or you can tap on your multimedia, go to setup. So yeah, like I was saying, it would be nice to see something like, weather or something, widgets or something. Yeah, so I will actually change that back, and yeah, I'm not going to try demo mode. I don't want to screw everything up. Also, this is the mounting plate of it, and on the back is just your 4-wire connection, and then this just mounts as is. It snaps into place, and then there's a screw on the bottom that is inside the package. So yeah, that is really it. I really recommend this keypad if you do not have an RF device keypad, RF version of the keypad, something like this. Or if you just want to, make the space look nicer. So if this is in your living room, it will look very nice. I am currently at a demo setup, so yes, so that's really it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.